On Rick's shoulder, a prehistoric mosquito greedily feeds on his fresh blood. Yet Rick seems unfazed, instead continuing to play songs for his companions. The mosquito crawls to his back, intending to drain this human completely. Soon, Rick's complexion turns pale, his vitality fades, and he feels a wave of drowsiness, his upper body starting to bend weakly. At this point, the mosquito has swollen larger than a soccer ball, looking like it's about to burst. Rick collapses from excessive blood loss. The mosquito, unable to escape in time, also pays the ultimate price with its life. Why would Rick let a mosquito feed on his blood? It all started when he discovered a 2.6 billion-year-old fossil. Research revealed that the grooves on the fossil perfectly matched a lighter, leading him to realize he might be able to travel from the future to the past. To test this theory, he and two companions went to the cave where the fossil was found. Upon their arrival, his life's invention, the time machine, detected a change in the magnetic field. Curious, he pressed the switch on the time machine, and the cave immediately began to shake violently. Realizing something was wrong, Rick tried to turn off the time machine, but an unexpected tremor caused it to fall into the water. Before they could react, the water flow suddenly became very rapid, and their boat moved uncontrollably forward until they fell into a space-time wormhole. When Rick wakes up, he finds the moon very close to Earth, indicating they've traveled to the prehistoric era. He's thrilled and picks up the camcorder to record the moment, but Will is very worried because the time machine was accidentally lost during the transition, meaning they can't return to the modern era. They had not traveled long before they spotted 3 apes ahead of them. Upon closer inspection, the primitive men of this age had learned to make tools. Just as one of the apes was about to be killed, Holly hurriedly shouted to stop the murderous ape. When the apes saw the hairless two-legged beasts, they were very curious. Will takes out a lighter and shows the flame, trying to scare them away. Unexpectedly, the dagger-wielding apes were really scared, but the next second,
Oh, son of a bitch!
The ape quickly picked up the lighter on the ground and ran off into the distance. Just like that, the ape who almost lost his life survived. But they didn't know that the identity of this ape man was not simple. This is Rick's first encounter with the prehistoric man Shaka. He tries to examine Shaka's foot, resulting in strong resistance and scaring Shaka into running away. While chasing him, the ground beneath them collapses, and they fall into a cave filled with bones, indicating extreme danger. As they prepare to leave, vines quietly emerge from the ground and sequentially grab each person.
Oh my God!
They found themselves suspended in midair with white bones all over the ground at their feet. Rick knows they must not stay here long. To escape the vines, they hold hands and swing their bodies, trying to reach a nearby tree. Just as they are about to succeed, a Tyrannosaurus Rex appears, opening its massive jaws, almost swallowing Rick at the edge. But due to inertia, they quickly swung back. Luckily, the Tyrannosaurus Rex has poor vision, helping them escape the vines. Seeing the monkey run to the front, they realize following it is their only chance for safety, so they hurriedly followed, while the Tyrannosaurus Rex was in hot pursuit. During the chase, Holly has a sudden idea to take a photo of their escape for posterity. She asks Will to stand still. After the photo is taken, they run for their lives. Unfortunately, a cliff appears ahead, but luckily there's a stone bridge above. But when the monkey comes over, it picks up a stick, attempting to destroy the bridge. Fortunately, it's too weak to succeed. The three make it to the other side of the cliff just before the Tyrannosaurus Rex can bite them. Due to the T-Rex's poor depth perception and the short width of the stone bridge, it dared not cross over. Just as the T-Rex was about to leave, Rick loudly told his companions that the dinosaur's brain was only as big as a walnut, which is why it couldn't make it across. Unexpectedly, his words were understood by the T-Rex. It turned around, its gaze sharpening, before it sprinted and leaped over in full force. The four of them quickly ran for their lives. After a thrilling chase, they found a narrow cave and narrowly escaped disaster. Frustrated, the T-Rex spat out a mouthful of saliva, turned its head, and roared angrily as if to prove its intelligence. The three ventured deeper into the cave and stumbled upon the skeletons of two modern humans, realizing they were not the first to have traveled through time. If they didn't find the time machine soon, They feared they might end up like their predecessors. While resting, the cave suddenly shook violently. The trio, trembling, went out to investigate and found a package on the ground. Rick opened it to find a gigantic walnut, and the T-Rex from earlier was staring at them from a distance, seemingly trying to prove its brain was indeed large. The next morning, a dazzling blue light suddenly appeared outside the cave. Rick went out to investigate and found the source of the blue light not far away. At that moment, he felt a sharp pain in his head, followed by a distress call from an alien. In order to find out what was going on, the group went to the source of the blue light, which magically turned out to be a relic, surrounded by several lizard head statues, and a transparent triangular cone right in the center. Shaka arrived to warn them of the danger, but Rick, looking around, saw nothing amiss. Shaka then directed his gaze to a nearby cave, from which many lizard-like creatures emerged. Rick thought these lizard people moved too slowly to pose any danger. However, in the next second, the lizard people bared their sharp teeth. The trio, realizing the danger too late, attempted to run but found themselves surrounded. Just as all hope seemed lost, Holly pulled out her belt. At that moment, the buckle reflected light, and Rick, noticing this, used the reflection to shine light into the eyes of the lizard statues. Magically, the four statues connected beams of light, creating a portal. They hurried into it and found themselves in a sealed space, housing an alien who had been waiting for their arrival. The alien explained that an evil extraterrestrial intended to invade Earth with an army of lizard people, needing only to open the time tunnel with the time machine. Unable to leave, the alien had detected the approximate location of the time machine using a crystal disc to prevent the catastrophe. The trio set off to find the time machine but got lost in the forest due to unfamiliarity with the terrain. Luckily, they encountered Shaka, who led them out of the forest into a vast desert, surprisingly filled with modern buildings. As they wondered, an ice cream truck fell from the sky, with a vendor inside. Rick deduced the ice cream truck had accidentally entered a time tunnel, hence its appearance here. Suddenly, a group of dinosaurs ran from all directions, attacking the ice cream truck. The unfortunate vendor was devoured by the dinosaurs before he could struggle. A T-Rex and a Spinosaurus arrived late and turned their attention to the trio filming nearby. They immediately ran in different directions, but the T-Rex from yesterday chased after them, quickly catching up to Rick. Fortunately, Rick's backpack saved his life. He seized the opportunity to hide in a nearby building, posing silently as a model, but the Spinosaurus still caught his scent. Upon seeing his companions in danger, Holly called out anxiously. However, Rick had already safely jumped to the other side. During his escape, he stumbled upon a bottle of nitrogen gas. Spotting a catapult nearby, he immediately devised a plan. He lured the Spinosaurus over, then placed the nitrogen gas bottle on the catapult, causing the dinosaur's body to swell and burst. At that moment, they discovered the time machine had been inside the Spinosaurus all along. Just as they were about to retrieve it, a pteranodon suddenly appeared, snatched the time machine, and flew towards a distant volcano. Rick was utterly dejected, lying on the car, unwilling to move. By night, he somehow found a guitar and played a heartfelt tune for his companions. Then, an ancient mosquito landed on his shoulder, voraciously sucking his blood. Fortunately, he managed to lie down in time, crushing the mosquito with his body. The next morning, Rick woke up full of energy, unaware of a large bump that had grown on his back. They headed towards the volcano and eventually reached the pteranodon's nest. Finding the time machine there, Pterodactyl's mom and dad are away and they have no knowledge of the theft from their home. Rick easily retrieved the time machine. Just as they were about to leave, the pteranodon eggs began to hatch.
It must be like a lullaby!
Shut up! They're hatching! Why are they—
And they were surrounded. Rick's lullaby put the baby pteranodons to sleep, allowing them to take the time machine smoothly. To cool off, they found a hotel to soak in a bath. Then, Shaka discovered a coconut tree full of fruit and picked some for everyone to taste. Just drink one. Everyone becomes a little confused because it is a fruit that makes you anesthetized. Holly received a signal from the time machine and discovered a portal. Driven by curiosity, Holly entered it, finding herself in a completely different world. While exploring, she accidentally triggered a mechanism, revealing a recording of the evil alien. It warned humans to beware of yellow-skinned aliens who plan to use the time machine to open a time tunnel and lead an army to conquer Earth. After delivering its message, it was killed by a laser beam. Holly found its body and realized the previous alien had deceived them all. As she was about to leave, she was captured by lizard people, while the others on the beach were oblivious. Suddenly, a giant crab approached the trio, considering them as food. They were terrified and wanted to run, but the effects of the fruit's intoxication hadn't worn off, leaving them paralyzed and despairing. In the next second, the crab fell into a boiling geyser. Afterward, they enjoyed a delicious meal as the sun set, only then realizing Holly was missing. Following her tracks, they found her backpack and entered the portal. Searching around, they encountered two sneaky lizard people and observed them for a while before realizing they were shedding their skin. Meanwhile, the lizard people were conducting a ritual sacrifice. Disguised in lizard skin, they saw Holly was about to be sacrificed and prepared for a fight. Rick jumped onto the cage, grabbed a lizard person, and threw them into the lava below. Will tried to fight the lizard people but was quickly knocked down. Thanks to Rick throwing the lizard people into the lava one by one, and with Will's help, they managed to rescue Holly. Then, the alien appeared, thanking Rick for the time machine, which would help open a time tunnel for invading future Earth. The alien boasted about its army's ability to replicate bodies infinitely. Needing only a few weeks to cover Earth with lizard people, a laser beam targeted Rick's forehead, as the alien had brought a T-Rex to deal with them before leaving. Strangely, the T-Rex only focused on Rick, attempting to scare it off with fireworks. Rick discovered they were duds.
Damn it, Will!
In a moment of crisis, Rick decides to give the Tyrannosaurus Rex the death blow with a stick.
He's gonna do it!
Do it! Do it!
Seeing her companion in danger, Holly charged at the T-Rex seeking revenge, but the dinosaur showed no interest, finding humans too insignificant to bother with. Except for Rick, who had insulted its intelligence, the alien was ready to open the time tunnel and send a lizard army to the modern world. Holly, armed with a belt, tried to break into the central crystal tower but was taken over. Will used shock as a weapon against the lizard horde. Despite knocking some down, they were quickly overwhelmed, just when they were about to be devoured. Rick heroically returned riding the T-Rex, eliminating the surrounding lizard people. Explaining his survival, Rick had entered the T-Rex's intestines to relieve its constipation, thereby forming a deep friendship with the dinosaur. After dealing with the lizard people, they entered the central crystal tower. The alien had opened the time tunnel to the modern world, but Rick fought it. However, the alien evaded Will, causing the crystal disc to tip over and break, making the tunnel unstable and about to disappear. Seeing this, they rushed towards the tunnel, but Will was caught by the alien. To ensure their escape, Will and Shaka held the alien back, sacrificing themselves. Rick and Holly safely returned to the modern world, living happily after their adventure. On the other hand, Will followed Shaka back to his hometown. The primitives below cheered collectively. Will didn't realize that Shaka was actually the leader of the tribe. At this time, a group of primitive beauties ran over to him, and they were in love with this strong man in front of them. At the end of the story, Will lived a happy life in the age of the dinosaurs.